What's up, team, and welcome to Mettle Memo number 27. Today's topics include getting sick and still training, walking after lunch, meals and macros, training and workouts of the day. This is on video. This is on YouTube. This is also on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to it. You can watch it. If you watch it, I also include the pictures that I put in the memo as well. That being said, the biggest announcement is we have the newest program, the 12-week Summer Shred program. Now, this program is functioned in about 4 phases, and it goes build, 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 deload, next month, build, 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 deload, last month, build, 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 deload. Now, those deload weeks are focused on higher hypertrophy, higher rep ranges, more volume on your muscles, however, less weight. So it's actually less resistance. Versus the building phase, you are increasing the amount of weight you're using, which is progressive overload, or increasing the amount of rep ranges. Featured in this, every Wednesday or every third day, you have a HIIT training day, which is high intensity interval training. I put options in there, so you don't actually need to follow exactly what I said. Instead, you could choose which workout, which circuit style, which EMOM, whatever it is that you feel like doing that day. So there's options now. And then there's, on the 6th day, there's LISS training. That's low intensity steady state training, which is a lower heart rate for longer duration of time. Now, over the course of the 12 weeks, we are going to be progressively building the LISS cardio section, so you will get more fit, burn more calories, and ultimately burn more fat if following a calorie restrictive diet, which is calories in, calories out. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you will help burn fat. So in this program, you have the option to do a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus. You could also do calorie maintenance and just stay at your current weight. If you do a calorie deficit, you will see fat burning, and if you're eating enough protein, you'll see muscle gain. If you're in a calorie surplus and you eat enough protein, you will see muscle gain in addition to volume gain over your body. So that is the newest program. It's $6. So join the Substack if you haven't already. $6 a month. It's the cheapest program you could probably ever get, and I spent a lot of time designing this. Furthermore, it's something that I did. I already have completed it, and I'm doing it again because it's awesome. It's upper-lower cardio split. So it's upper-lower cardio, rest day. The rest day, I also have an optional 20-minute mobility that I added in. So check it out. It's the Summer Shred program. The link's in my bio. The link is also on my Instagram in the bio, and it's within this newsletter. That being said, a little housekeeping. We have supplements. So the supplements that I am currently taking is Ketone IQ. So here it is, Ketone IQ. This is the peach flavor. There's no caffeine in this. So in ketones, there's no caffeine. What ketones are is when you are in a carb deficient state. So over a long period of duration, when you're not eating any carbohydrates, your body stops using glycogen as the source of energy. Instead, it uses what your body produces called ketones. So when you're in ketosis, you are using your fat as energy versus glycogen and carbohydrates. That being said, I love carbs. However, I also love an additional form of energy, something that is long-lasting, something that is fully sustaining, keeps you clear-minded, keeps you focused, and the answer is Ketone IQ. They put this in one shot. You just drink it. I drink about 2 a day. You don't necessarily feel like you drank a cup of coffee or anything like that, but more like you had a 6th gear you didn't even know about. I ripped about 4 of these during my marathon and PR'd. I think that's enough for that one. The other one is Transparent Labs. So we have Transparent Labs, grass-fed protein. This is actually my favorite flavor. This is chocolate chip banana bread. It literally tastes absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10 recommend. After every workout and about 3 o'clock, I actually drink 1 ketone shot and make a protein shake, and I'm feeling great for the rest of the day. All right, chapter 1, lessons learned. Getting sick. Now, I have a problem. I train too much. I work too much. I obsess about being of service for other people. Well, I guess I have many problems. It all caught up to me this past week. 22 days in a row of some sort of, quote, training, focusing on the 90 minutes a day of exercises noted in the Mettle 30 program. Link to the Mettle 30 program is above. However, the 90 minutes a day were supposed to be conscious movement, meaning it didn't need to be like full training. It could be stretching, yoga, walking, etc., not necessarily high-intensity training. However, I learned my lesson the hard way. I promote consistently taking rest days. It is so important because I know the value they provide. I have felt the value. I have practiced the value. But some weeks, I just have the energy to continue on, and eventually it bites me in the ass. If you have a scheduled rest day and you have the energy, take a look at your calendar for the week ahead before you decide to train again. So what happens on the rest days? Well, it gives your body time it needs to recover, rebuild, and grow stronger after intense physical activity. So during training, especially resistance training or high-intensity workouts, you have tiny muscle fibers that experience stress and micro tears. Rest is when the real repair and growth of those muscles happens. So without adequate rest, you increase the risk of injury, fatigue, and burnout, which can stall your progress, harm your overall performance, which is exactly what I did, unfortunately. Additionally, rest days also support hormonal balance, so reduce inflammation and give your nervous system a chance to reset, making them just as essential as the workouts themselves for long-term health and overall fitness gains. So why did I not take one? Well, in short, honestly, I'm freaking stubborn. I'm just a stubborn person. I have a bucket of energy that sometimes expresses itself in anxiety. And if I'm not in motion, that energy subsides. However, I risked injury and sickness. When I was writing this, I had the flu. So what about training? Well, I tried for 4 days. Ignoring the feeling of aches and cold sweats, I wanted to move. I did not want to miss a day and fall behind, so I continued to train. I continued to help my friends prepare for events and brunches. I continued to cook food for my neighbors and my wife, and I worked 10 hours every single day and attempted to be there, even more present and more involved with my wife. I was left with 4 days of terrible workouts, missed PRs, heavy fatigue in the gym, and worse yet, lack of being present for those who needed me. So take your rest days seriously. Stretch, go for a walk, get adequate sleep, and eat nutrient-dense food. Your body and mind will thank you later. Or you will be in the same position as me, regretting your trips to the gym. Tip this week, walking after lunch. I originally started to do this as like a stress reliever tool. I was so frustrated one day that instead of acting out and expressing that frustration, I decided to go outside and go for a walk. This 10-minute walk turned into now a daily habit. Walking after lunch offers a range of benefits that go beyond simply burning calories. However, extremely effective of also doing so. So one of the most immediate effects is improved digestion. So light movement helps stimulate the digestive system. It reduces bloating, it reduces gas, and that sluggish feeling that can follow a big meal. I tend to eat relatively light for lunch. As you guys see on all these newsletters, it's beef, avocado, fruit, and sometimes a salad. But I always go for a walk after a big meal, regardless of the time of the meal. This short post-meal activity also encourages more efficient nutrient absorption, and it helps regulate blood sugar levels, especially after the carb-heavy meals. So studies have shown that even a 10 to 15 minute walk after eating can significantly reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes, which is particularly beneficial for people managing insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Now, beyond the physical health, walking after lunch can provide a powerful mental reset for the rest of the day, which is exactly why I started to do it in the first place. Stepping outside for some fresh air, some light movement, it can elevate your mood, increase alertness, and improve focus, making it simple yet effective way to combat that afternoon energy slump. So when you feel like you need a nap and you don't necessarily have a ketone on hand, Go for a walk. Everything can change for you after that. It is also a great break from screens and work, so giving your brain a chance to just rest and recharge. If you check my Strava, you will see I go for about a 1 mile walk in the middle of the day and sometimes more. A quick 20-minute break, I burn about 110 calories. So I'm 150 pounds. If you weigh more, you will most likely burn more calories. I come back to the desk feeling refreshed and recharged. I do not work when I am walking. Instead, I make phone calls to my friends and my family, like my mother, and I just give a check-in, making it one of the easiest and most underrated wellness practices out there. Go for a walk, get your steps in. Now, what am I eating? Below are some pictures and macros of foods I enjoyed cooking and eating from the past week. So as I mentioned, I got sick. I was sick with the flu. And I'm on this Mettle 30 challenge where we're doing single ingredient foods only. So I wanted to really order chicken soup from my favorite place. And instead, I ordered all of the ingredients that I needed for me at home to cook and make my own. So this was homemade chicken soup. I used bone broth from Kettle and Fire, one of the best, shredded carrots, shredded chicken, celery, onion, and rosemary. Approximate macros, 337 with 56 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, and 9 grams of carbs. Protein-dense fuel. Next picture is one of my favorite dinners. Sirloin cooked in beef tallow, broccoli and Brussels sprouts with a side of orange slices. Approximate macros about 350, 38 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 18 grams of net carbs. And last, my wife actually made this one for me, which was grass-fed ground beef or mince, half cup of rice, carrots, salad, walnuts, dates, cottage cheese, blackberries, peaches, and olive oil. You got to see this photo because it was absolutely incredible. We also heated up the peaches. So it was like hot peaches with cold cottage cheese. It was delicious. Calories 734, protein 44, fats 30, and net carbs 68. Part 4, how I am training. Cardio. So this is big updates. I'm still trying to implement more of this cardio routine. I'm focusing on swimming, and I'm doing circuits as cycling and running has taken the backseat because of the I-team bad syndrome. However, I am running now on an anti-gravity treadmill. So this is a machine I use at physical therapy where it pumps air into my legs so I can run at a percentage of my body weight. Last week I ran at 60%. This week I ran at 75%. I'm doing this about once a week, so hopefully in the next 4 weeks, I should be able to run on the ground or on the treadmill without pain. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Lifting. I am heavy into the summer shred program, so it's the upper-lower cardio split, as I mentioned earlier in the newsletter. I've started the new program and focusing on leaning out and building muscle for the summer. Now, this is my go-to program. I do 2 times upper body training, 2 times lower body training, 1 time HIIT training, and 1 time low intensity cardio training. So I added a link in here for a free download of the first full week. The full program will come out every week on Sunday to the paid subscribers for $6 a month. So for $18 for the next 3 months, you will get 12 weeks of great training program, and the one I use. And that's it for Mettle Memo number 27. Fortify your mind.